All right, let's go to some more of your calls here. Silver Spring, Maryland, and Ariella. Hi, Ariella. Dennis Prager.
Hi, Mr. Prager. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you.
My mother and I are big fans. You give us a lot to talk about.
Oh, good.
So my question was, I know you were raised Orthodox, and I believe you went to religious day schools. So I was wondering what influenced your decision to make a lifestyle change where, as you've said on your show, you're not Orthodox anymore.
Right. I am an anomaly in Jewish life because I believe that the Torah is from God, and I believe in the 13 principles of the Jewish faith as enunciated by Maimonides in the Middle Ages. And I don't broadcast on the holy days of the Bible, of the Torah. But there are many rabbinic laws that strike me, and I think strike even my Orthodox friends, as irrational, and therefore I find very difficult to justify, because I want my religion, while obviously it transcends reason alone, the practices that man made, not God, ought to be rational. And, you know, the only reason I can't do this at great length is that most listeners are not familiar with most of these things. But I think that even people who are irreligious or not Jewish find people's religious evolutions interesting. So in a nutshell, the adding of a day to the list of days that you have a holiday. For example, Passover is supposed to be 7 days, and the rabbis added an 8th day, and I think it killed the meaning of 7 days. 7 days is a recreation. The Exodus from Egypt recreates the world, just like creation created the world. So God wanted it to be 7 days, and now it's 8 days. So I actually think it's wrong by God's and the Torah's own standards.
So you're saying you disagree with the rabbinic decrees? Not
all, but the ones that are clearly not based in either reason or our Torah. I mean, why would an animal that doesn't produce milk not be considered meat? A chicken was eaten with milk in the great book of the Talmud, but then the rabbi said, well, maybe Jews will confuse meat and chicken, so we'll call chicken meat. That stuff, to be honest, drove me a little crazy intellectually.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you for taking my call.
You're a thoughtful young woman. By the way, she is a great example. She's 18 years old. Okay, this is very important. It's ironic because I'm speaking at an Orthodox synagogue tonight. To their great credit, by the way. See, the Orthodox will invite me, though I'm not Orthodox. But the Reform won't invite me, even though I'm not Orthodox, because I'm conservative politically. Because for vast numbers of Reform rabbis, leftism is dominant. And it's a tragedy. It's just a tragedy. And they say that they're the open-minded. That's the irony. The Orthodox are more open-minded than the liberal rabbis. And it's the same in the churches. Same thing. Anyway, I want to say something about this young woman. 18-year-old girl to ask serious questions, think about these ultimate issues of life. When I get an 18-year-old who does that, I'm almost certain they are an Orthodox Jew or a Mormon or an evangelical Christian or a committed Catholic. 95% of the time I am right, because I ask them. When I get a teen who has serious questions, I ask, were you raised in a religious home? Or did you go to religious school? And you hear it on the air. So while that's a good example, although I'm not Orthodox, I know their virtues.